They always say, don't mix politics with your portfolio, right?
Usually good advice.
But what happens when the whole investment case becomes politics? We've got this really fascinating contradiction today.
Yeah, what's that?
You know, the market's generally slowing down, big picture worries, but one stock is just absolutely exploding.
Okay. Let's dive in.
Welcome to De-Risk, a podcast where we provide a no-nonsense analysis of stocks. Today we're doing a deep dive into USA rare earth.
And we're using data captured earlier today, October 3rd, 2025, around 7:41 a.m. Eastern Time.
Perfect. So set the scene for us. What's the macro environment look like?
Well, it's tense.
Yeah.
I mean, pre-market futures are slightly green, maybe a bit of relief, but the big shadow hanging over everything, it's the U.S. government shutdown.
Still ongoing.
Still ongoing, and economists are throwing around numbers like $7 to $15 billion hit to GDP per week.
Wow. Okay, so that creates a lot of caution, market uncertainty.
Exactly. It generally makes investors hesitant, especially about, more speculative plays.
Right, but then you have USR. While the shutdowns may be hurting general confidence, USR seems to have this political heat shield, almost.
That's a good way to put it.
It's drawing focus away from the macro pain. Now, their fundamental story is about building this critical mine-to-magnet supply chain, all based here in the U.S.
Right, the domestic supply chain angle. Very important these days.
But let's be really clear, this huge rally we're seeing, it's fueled by geopolitics, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. The stock basically rocketed. Went vertical after the CEO confirmed being in close communication with the Trump administration.
Okay, and why is that one specific thing such a massive catalyst?
Because the market is pricing in sovereignty. Look, we know China controls what, like 80% of the global rare earth supply?
A huge amount.
Yeah. So USR is suddenly seen as this critical piece of national security infrastructure. The bet is that future government-backed, maybe Defense Production Act funding, things like that will just override normal business metrics for a while.
It's pretty incredible. I mean, our research shows they currently have zero revenue. None.
That's right, zero.
Yet, all four analysts covering USR have a unanimous buy consensus. How does Wall Street square that? Isn't that just pure speculation based on, one phone call?
Well, it kind of is, but it raises this important point. Analysts aren't really looking at fundamentals in the traditional sense.
Okay.
They're treating USR almost like a pre-approved government contractor, not just a mining startup. That political chat is seen as maybe the final piece of insurance they needed for this long-term strategic gamble.
So the bet is the government needs the product more than the market needs immediate profits.
Basically, yes. It's a bet on strategic necessity.
Okay, let's shift to investor sentiment then. Our research shows it's a real tug of war here.
It definitely is. You've got two very strong opposing camps.
So on the bullish side, you mentioned the options market. Looks wildly enthusiastic.
It really does. The put-to-call ratio is super tight, 0.23. So that means for every put option, which is usually a defensive or bearish bet, traders are buying 4 call options.
4 calls for every put, betting on a rise.
Exactly. They're making a clear directional bet that this geopolitical story has legs and the price goes higher. It's a geopolitical wager using options.
Every huge rally pulls in the bears, right? And there's a pretty significant force pushing back here.
Oh, yeah. The short interest is hefty. It stands at 13.56% of the float.
13.5%. That's not small.
Not at all. That represents a large block of, presumably smart money, betting this whole rally is just unsustainable political froth that it's going to come crashing down.
Which also sets the stage for a potential short squeeze if they're wrong and the price keeps climbing. That could get violent.
Absolutely. Adds another layer of volatility. Now, looking at the charts, the overall trend is, undeniably bullish. You can't argue with the price action.
And the volume confirms it, like a real conviction move.
Yeah, we saw a massive surge in volume, a real stampede into the stock. It shows there was real buying power behind that move. However...
there's always a however.
Always. There's a crucial warning sign flashing right now. While the momentum is clearly strong, a key momentum gauge, like the RSI perhaps, is screaming overheated.
Overheated, okay, meaning it went up too far too fast.
Exactly. And volatility has just gone through the roof along with it. So while the reward potential might seem high, the risk of a sharp short-term pullback has increased right alongside it. It's stretched thin.
So we've got politics driving the narrative, but the technicals, maybe the physics of the market, are warning about the speed. If we factor in the general market jitters from the shutdown, that big short interest, and this overheated technical signal, what's the overall take?
Taking all that into account, our official verdict is a cautiously bullish outlook.
Cautiously bullish. Okay.
Yes. For the bulls to really stay in charge here, they absolutely must defend that recent breakout zone. Think between $20 and $22. That's the key psychological battleground now.
$20 to $22. Got it. And if they lose that, what's the breakdown level?
The critical level, the point where this whole bullish idea gets seriously questioned, where the bears might really take over, is a decisive close below $19.
Below $19. Okay, that's the line in the sand.
That's the land.
You know, here's a final thought that kind of sums it all up. In a market that's so focused on geopolitics right now, maybe the biggest risk isn't being wrong, it's not having a seat at the table at all.
Interesting.
And it feels like USR just pulled up a chair right next to the head of it.
They certainly made a loud entrance.
Definitely one to watch. Okay, that's all for this deep dive. Remember, this podcast is for informational purposes only and isn't financial advice. Always do your own research or consult with qualified financial advisors before making any investments. Thanks for tuning in.
Catch you in the next episode.